Foundation 45 is a 501c3 nonprofit that funds counseling services for mental health, addiction, and suicide survivors. In addition to providing services, it works to break the stigma surrounding these topics. Foundation 45 recognizes that musicians, artists, and creative types are often at a higher risk for issues with mental health and addiction. The organization's goal is to serve the Dallas-Fort Worth creative community by providing free, top-tier mental health and recovery services. You can learn more about Foundation 45 at foundation45.org. Foundation 45. Live fast, die old. I'm Andrew Sherman. I'm a Texas transplant who has always been in pursuit of art as a career. I've played in bands, pursued an acting career in Hollywood, but I found it behind the lens of a camera here in Dallas, Texas. I was born in New York, I've lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, but I love Dallas. There's a magical artistic scene in Dallas that mostly goes unnoticed to the outside world. This podcast is focused on what makes it so special and the people who make it thrive artistically. If you don't live here, and even if you do, you might not have heard of them. This is the Dallas Famous Podcast.
So who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're all grown up? Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're over us? Yeah. Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're all grown up? Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're over us?
We are here at the Deep Ellum Community Center. We've got Blaque Dynamite as our guest this week. Yeah. Can I say your real name or? No, we don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah, you should, just so they know that it's the same person.
It's Mike Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
that's
funny,
my birth name.
I found, I think it was a band camp, and it the way it looked like the name Mike Mitchell was the name of the album. And I was like, I know that's got to be your real name, but I was like, that if it's not, that would be really cool if you just had some random guy's name as your album title.
Yeah, I am the random guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you talking about the JMI record that just was it like all drums?
I was looking at the cover itself.
It just says Mike Mitchell and Blaque Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yep, that's something that just came out.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I guess it came out last week, actually.
Oh, wow.
Under JMI Records.
What?
The name of the record is actually Blaque Dynamite for some strange reason.
Okay.
But I am Mike Mitchell. Like historically, I've been putting out music under Blaque Dynamite. So
when did you become Blaque Dynamite?
Probably like 10th or 11th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was watching like all these like crazy like black exploitation movies from the 70s and 80s that are just like this dude who's not necessarily a cop, but he whoops all ass if you not, if you're breaking the law, he gonna whoop your ass. Right. But he's not a cop, so that's illegal. But he's doing the right thing. Right. And I just for some reason resonated with that. And he's also a pimp on the side.
Well, yeah, of course.
So I definitely resonated with that, and then
yeah.
So I was just like, oh yeah, of course. I feel like I play like that. I would like to do the right thing the wrong way and just make everybody deal with it because I'm right still. So like,
yeah,
I like that. I felt that a lot. It's like Shaft. I don't know if you know Shaft or like Dolomite. Those dudes, yeah.
That feels like jazz in a way, the way you just described that.
It's definitely
doing things the way you want, the wrong way. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first time I became aware of you, I was shooting at Deep Ellum Art Company, and it was a Robert Sput Seawright like holiday show, and there was like a line of drummers that just kind of one at a time, and it was like you were one of them, and it was J.D. Beck was one of them, and I just remember I'm like up there taking photos of this, and you were just like a freaking machine gun. I was like, I have never seen anything that close, that amazing. That was just I've never forgotten that moment when I first saw you.
Was that was it a Ghost Note and Shawn Martin thing, or was it like Sput just doing a thing at Arco?
Honestly, it all runs together. He's done a few.
I've been at a few of those things.
Yeah, like Shawn did a couple of those holiday spectacles.
Because I would normally play with Shawn. I was Shawn's drummer. I'm Shawn's drummer for the past, I don't know, 4-ish years, I guess.
Okay. I must have shot you with Shawn then not even realize that.
Definitely. No, you definitely have.
Yeah.
You definitely have.
Yeah, okay. And then I saw you with Erykah, opening for Erykah, and then playing with Erykah with the Frank Mocha. in the Dos Negros. That was interesting and cool. Like Dos Negros, like talk to me about that for a second. That's like you're two like powerhouses,
right?
And you join forces. It's
right.
very unique.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Dos Negros band, it's like because first of all, it's Frank Mocha's project, you know, but it's designed from the drum standpoint, you know. So he's playing like lead percussion and half drum set and things, and then like when I play, it's like the other side of the full drum set sound that kind of fills out everything. Mm-hmm. And since I've been touring, like, you know, Adarian has been playing. Adarian Roberts has been playing.
Okay.
And which is the current drummer for Dos Negros.
Okay. Who are you touring with?
Just Blaque Dynamite.
Oh, it's
I put out my Stop Calling Me album in October last year, and like we kind of just have not been able to stop touring and playing and stuff like that. I mean, like sometimes it's like a couple gigs a month, sometimes it's like 9 gigs a month, sometimes it's a show, sometimes it's like 20 for the month, you know.
Right.
Like right now we're gearing up for this month. We have like a show in Houston this Thursday on the 6th. Is that the 6th? Yeah, Houston at a White Oak Music Hall or something. Mm-hmm. And then I know we go to Austin on Saturday at the Royal something. I'm going to get fired for my own shit. But yeah, we'll be in, you know, so it goes back and forth because I'm still trying to figure out the middle ground between like recording new music and trying to tour it. But like it all kind of comes from, I have to be able to do both because I'm dealing with the band. I'm also dealing with, you know, the Dolphin Records label from Benjamin Hickson and everybody and Ramy. And so it's just trying to find a balance. But, with the specifically with like the Dos Negros thing, is like it's driven by the drums. It's like an Afro-Americana kind of mix, and then, you know, Frank's also singing. He has the dancers and the whole thing, but like a lot of it is like based off of folkloric, you know, action. You know, like you play something on the drum set, then it makes someone dance a certain way, or they are cued to know that they need to sing a certain thing because they heard a certain rhythm. And for me, that's like a school because I wasn't raised in Africa. I was raised in Fort Worth. Right. So like to hear, you know, to learn and to see something translate. Like if I play something, then this means that it has something to do with something besides music. You know, like the dancing, or like maybe it's a sign for the crowd to like be like boom, or like, you know, something. It kind of like looped everything in together for me as a writer in general, because I'm in the studio trying to figure out things besides drums and besides singing, just to like loop the listener into like how I'm actually feeling. Mm-hmm. So that's one person's thing that like I really, really enjoy. It's like kind of even playing with like Thundercat or Kamasi or Stanley. Like it's like when you go through people that like have developed their own sense of how they communicate their music, that's a school for me. Because, you know, if you don't go to college, that's how you learn things in general. Because like you go to college, a music school, it's easy for you to be like, oh yeah, you didn't sound good today, you get an F. That's weak. If you don't sound good in real life, you get fired, and you might not get any more gigs in life, and you really have to think about that. There's no cushion. You know what I mean? So like, being in real life for me is like that's the thing that I appreciate about all those dudes.
Right on. Yeah. All right, well, this, I don't know if you've actually heard it, but this is typical where I'm going to go back now to your history, you know, which is cool. I mean, you said you're from Fort Worth, and then you moved to Arlington, but you've been playing, I've read everywhere, you've been playing since you were 2. You learned from watching your cousins. And then I read you had your first recording session at 7. What was that?
7. Let's see. 7 years old. Yeah, accurate. That's my father's album.
Oh, okay.
That's my father, Mike Mitchell. Not Mike Mitchell Sr., because I'm not junior, but Michael Dwayne Mitchell. I'm Michael Lamonte Mitchell. So Mike Mitchell, my dad, he's like an OG. You know, he's from East Texas, from Marshall. Came out here when he married my mother, Ann, who was the greatest woman in the world. He you know, he made his mark like in Fort Worth, Dallas, because he had a gospel group. Okay. And so like throughout the 90s, you know, my dad was playing with like Kirk Franklin and the DFW Mass Choir, and he was playing with Bobby Sparks back in the day, like, you know, early on. My mom would sing with those choirs, and then he started my father started his gospel group called Just Praise. I think they had another name before, but it was corny. So my daddy went with Just Praise. And as they developed, doing their thing, he was the drummer. He was also like the writer and arranger, but he was the drummer for this gospel group, and he had a choir director in place. He arranged it, and then when I was born, I guess I took some attention away from that because he didn't realize that I was serious about playing drums. And then once that started, like, I would kind of play around town. He would let me play at the church, at my grandfather's church, Troy Pope, St. Matthew. He would let me play there. My mom would let me play there. And finally, my grandmother, who just had her birthday, she turned 88. Janelle Pope.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, she got me my first drum set.
Cool.
And it got broken. I broke it in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Just playing that.
Yeah, because I just wouldn't let up. Like if I was gonna play that much, they should have been real Remo heads versus like some first stack whatever.
Right.
Because I was just on it all the time. So it ended up getting broken, and my parents got me like a real drum set, but like for a child size. It's real material, but it's just for a child.
Smaller.
And that was the thing that like just sent me through the moon. Just watching Sesame Street with my eyes, but like having Earth, Wind, and Fire in my headphones while I'm playing and watching that. And I'm like, 3 years old in my living room. I thought that was a way to grow up. I thought that was how people grow up.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was just it. That's all I saw.
That's cool too. And like now I'm getting, because I saw somewhere else that I was going to ask you about. Someone asked, or it was in an article thing where they asked your favorite venue, and you said church. So like it makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
That's where you came from.
Yeah.
That's
like
still true though, huh?
Yeah. I mean, no, it's not still true.
Okay.
But it's more so of like the feeling about music stems from church.
Okay.
It's a church is a beautiful institution that has like all the tools for someone that has a huge huge creative palette to really experiment with that. Like if you're the MD of a church, you can do anything. Like, all right, let's make these ridiculous arrangements that are unnecessary, and then go into give thanks, just so we can get our musician thing out. They'd be like,
to make it fun.
Thank you, Lord, make some noise, and then we go into the groove. It's like, so now we can like settle in after that minute and a half of Earth, Wind, and Fire and Return of Forever at the church. But that's allowed there. That's the thing. Like that's not allowed in most places in general. Like in church, it's a known thing to be like, it's a phrase called "Let the Lord use you."
Okay.
So like that element of like, which means in non-church, do the most.
Sure.
That's what it means. Do the most. Let the Lord use you. But also like it gives you that opportunity to really, like most church musicians are listening to jazz fusion, or they're listening to Kiss, or they're listening to Prince. But because we don't play with Prince, and because we don't play with Kiss, and because we don't get to do those things, we're church musicians at that point. So that's our outlet to try to get that creative tick out of our brain to see if we can really do it. And
Right.
it always gets encouraged, because it's like, that's kind of the palette. Like a crazy musician with a really wonderful writer, and like they make these arrangements, and then they sing about the Word of God, and it's just like a yin and yang kind of thing, where like the musicians that carry this thing create the sound, but then the people that are writing this is carrying the word from God to bring out to people. But because the music is a certain way, it attracts young people, it attracts people that don't necessarily believe in Jesus, it attracts non-religious or spiritual people, because of this is killing. They don't know that it doesn't matter that it's religious.
Sure.
That's the other part of it. And that's how you attract people in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, church, because of that mentality. That's why church is my favorite place to play.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, okay, so like I'm going through these notes, and drum endorsements like at 11. But you started writing pretty early too, right?
Yeah. I think I wrote the first song. I think I was 7, because that recording that you sent, I recorded first when I was 7. It's my dad's. He did a live album somewhere in Fort Worth, and he recorded one of the songs that I wrote. And I think I was like in first or second grade or something.
Huh.
It's called "You're the One," and it's because it's a gospel album. It equates to like, you're the one that gave me joy. You're the one that gave me peace. And so it's a beautiful gospel song, since we're talking about Jesus. I was talking about my first grade girlfriend, Joy. I was talking about Joy. I wonder where Joy is, right? Joy, if you hear this, it's your boy. Holla at your boy. Run it back.
That's funny. That's really
She was my first second grade girlfriend. It was like running back. Yes.
well, I mean, I can see the parallel.
Yeah, but I mean, you write about Jesus because you love Jesus. Me, I was at an early age, and this is the things that I've been writing about. I mean, even now, like I'm almost 30, like I'm still writing about love or writing about hate. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily have Jesus in front of it, but it's still the same message of like emotional contract that you have to whatever person or situation that you're dealing with,
Mm-hmm. I'm going to skip around a little here. I know you as a drummer. I mean, are there other instruments that you sing as well a little bit? Like how are you writing when you're writing? Like, is it all from a keyboard or like from your head that you like, how do you do that?
It's different each time. Like there's certain songs, like there's just certain things that I hear. Maybe I hear a bass line and I want to build on the bass line. Okay. So I'll figure out that bass line and then I'll build everything from there. Or sometimes it is a drum pattern because sometimes I'm just messing around in the studio and I'm like, oh, that'd be tight to put something on top of that. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I'm hearing some lyrics with a certain pattern that like I know the notes, I know all the things. So maybe it's that, or maybe I hear, like I have produced like Ben Hickson. He sends me tracks all the time, and some songs like it's just chords and it has nothing at all. It's just chords in a random ambiguous time. Then it makes me like kind of create a formula for what those chords are, and then I can create rhythm and a vibe and then lyrics and then melody and all that stuff. So it's different every time.
Okay.
It's different every time.
So does that blend to like a little bit more of a wide range of style on your like each album?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like historically, drummers are the worst writers ever. Historically, I'm not gonna say like just like 1,000%, but like historically, drummers are just not the greatest writers. The sonics may be wonderful, the sound and presentation of everything would be wonderful, but there is an element that a lot of drummers, not necessarily today, because there's so much available for information these days.
Right.
But historically, like there's like an element of like harmonics and writing it's just missed because like we're so rhythmic based, and if you don't view music from another instrument, it's hard to write music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like as a drummer and you don't know any notes or you don't know any keys or you don't have perfect pitch or you can't sing. Like thank God I can sing. Sure. So I can like very blatantly give a specific idea to someone and then they know exactly what I'm going for.
Right.
Or I can like kind of play guitar. I can kind of play keyboard. I can kind of play bass. Mm-hmm. That's the extent of it. But like I can kind of maneuver around enough to like be like, this is the specific idea that I'm going for. Mm-hmm. So it helps.
It's okay. So this is funny because I just saw Stuart Copeland and he was with, the orchestra, the students at SMU, and they were doing the Police Derange. So he rearranged stuff, and the Police songs are amazing, and he's amazing. Man, like the vocals, the rearrangement were horrible in my opinion. I didn't necessarily say that publicly, and like it's funny because I could just like it's kind of what I was thinking. It's like he just doesn't have that harmonic experience to make it's different, but he didn't. His signature isn't what made it good.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard it, but that is a thing with certain drummers that like decide that they just want to have a band. Mm-hmm. It normally tends to be like, let me just tell everybody what to do.
Right.
Versus like, let me have and I'm not saying that that's what Stuart did, but like just, at least for me, before I was harmonically conscious, like up until I wasn't really into like keys and guitar and bass and stuff until I was like 20 or 19, so maybe up 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, but I was making music beforehand, but I was arranging. Mm-hmm. So it was more so like me arranging songs that like were already, there were other people's songs. I was trying to figure out how to arrange a show, basically. So like it started with me trying to kind of basically quote unquote be a music director.
Right.
But then like once things start progressing and I'm in the studio and I'm with Ben and Max and Ethan and Ramey and Byron and Alec, and they're like, what do we do? And Ben's like, play keys, Mike. And I'm like, why? I don't play the keyboard. He's like, so figure out something tight to play, because that's what we do. We'll figure it out. And I'm sitting over here with with all types of cramped fingers, chords, trying to make something really tight. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's the chord. Like, press record. Hold it. You got it? All right, let me figure this next thing. And then you start building. Yeah. You build it that way. And then over time, you start remembering, like, this is what I like. This is what I like. Mm-hmm. And it turns into your sound. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's cool. The muscle memory kind of is just.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can skip ahead to like Booker T. Washington. Like, apparently that's where you kind of, your musical taste went from like Motown more to like the jazz thing. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. Like, I mean, God, Booker T. Like, I've talked to a lot of people from Booker T. It sounds like, I mean, when I was a kid, Fame, the movie, I just was.
That's Booker T.
That's all I wanted to be a part of. So I can only imagine how great that was.
Yeah, that's the place where I actually found myself. Because up until. I mean, being a kid that's been playing music since I was a baby, I know how to play drums and make music more than I know how to speak English. So, like, being in a regular environment through elementary school and middle school, the only people that knew I played drums, aside from the actual world that was paying attention, like the people that knew me personally, the only people that knew that I played drums was my next-door neighbor and a neighbor that was like maybe 3 houses down that wasn't supposed to know that I played drums, but we happened to have a similar church family. And so like we went to go visit a church together, and they saw me playing drums. They're like, Mike, you what? and he played drums too. So, and he wasn't a drummer it wasn't the same. Yeah. But he was just like, oh wow, like we're at church and I'm running into you playing drums. What else do you really do? And then they found out that I really play I'm a piece of a drum. and then it just like none of my friends up until I went to Booker T knew that I was a musician. Like people would come to me like, I saw you on YouTube the other day, like, and I would be like, no, you didn't.
Oh, you would deny it? Yeah,
because it was embarrassing. It was to me. It was embarrassing in a world of like 12 to 14-year-olds where like the coolest thing you can do is play football or play basketball. I don't do any of that. Right. I play the drums. And I wasn't a band geek, but like I also kind of was. So it was like this weird like, am I a rock star drummer or am I a band geek? I know I don't play football. I don't, girls don't necessarily like dudes that play the xylophone in the orchestra. Necessarily. I mean, not necessarily. But when we got to Booker T, oh my God, it was so lit. I was like, yeah, I play xylophone, snare drum, and I'm in a jazz band. Everybody was like, oh, what? You're in a jazz band? Wow, that's so cool. I'm like, you'd be like, I'm the quarterback. I'm the star quarterback. Oh, that's so dope, Darren. And you'd be like, I'm Mike. I'm the jazz drummer. And they're like, wow, you're a jazz drummer. Like, that don't even make no sense. But, like, that was the most, everybody there at the school, like, if you were popular at that school, it was because you're really good at your talent. Yeah. Most kids that are really cool at normal school, they're like, they're like the cool drug dealer. They're like the cool weed dealer, or like the girl that, like, sleeps with everybody. Like, whatever. Yeah. At Booker T, it was like, you could be as dorky, as nerdy, as standoffish, as strange as you were. But if you were really good at what you do, everybody was like, yo, what up? Yeah. And that was the cool thing to do. So over time, in my brain, like, the coolest thing to do is to be as great as you possibly can be at what you want to do. Yeah. And that message when I turned, I don't know, like 14 for my freshman year, it was literally like a night and day switch. I was like, wait, it's cool to be like great at this? Like, I thought this was strange, but like, if you're really good at it, then that's the whole point, Yeah. That's one thing I'm really, really grateful for about Booker T.
I didn't even think of it like that, because I had a supportive, thing, and I mean, I guess I'm older than you, but I mean,
no, not that much, man.
Oh no, I'm older.
Maybe
than
a year.
You. I'm 54, man.
No.
Yeah.
Switch it.
I'm Jewish, so it doesn't crack, it doesn't rhyme, but.
You crazy? I love that. Anyway. Jewish don't crack.
Yeah, I mean, something like that.
Yeah. Or don't smoke crack.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I was coming up when MTV like first was like the beginning of MTV, so it was kind of cool. We all had bands growing up, even though football was still really cool. But I was also in Indiana, not Texas, so maybe that was part of it.
Indiana?
Too. Yeah, like right outside of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Munster. I'm not proud of it, but like living outside of Chicago was awesome because
Like
it was
Muncie?
Munster.
Munster. Oh,
yeah,
Munster.
like right on the border. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that you had heard of it. It's not significant.
I know about Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah, that's south. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So this is the closest.
But
to
I was
the
more
truth
like
to
Chicago, you know, like we would like all the Chicago news, all the Chicago sports, like that's what we would get. And then I was going to Chicago, I went to school to Chicago, you know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, you were like literally on the border.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was cool. But it's too cold there, so I left immediately as soon as I could. Okay, so there's something else, because like I was reading different, like I looked up a bunch of things, like, Prodigy was thrown around when you were younger. How did you get known? Was it YouTube? Like, what put you on the map outside of the school?
Let's see. Let's go back. I started playing when I was 2. 6. I was just playing. My parents would take me to the club a lot. And like when I say the club, like jazz club, not like the discotheque. I'm not just sitting up at the bar with my stroller. Like no, they would take me to like there was a place called Brooklyn's Jazz Cafe. I don't know if you remember. It's from like 2004, 2003.
Yeah,
and Chris Dave, I don't know if you know Chris Dave. He's a wonderful drummer from Houston. He would come up here, and his other bass player named John Webb. The two of them, they're from Houston. They would come up here to play with Keith Anderson and Bobby Sparks and Bernard Wright just on some club gigs, because apparently Chris Dave and Bobby Sparks are cousins.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so let me tell you, Chris Dave is one of the greatest drummers walking right now.
Huh.
He's one of my heroes. He's one of our heroes. Like, that's the dude. Like, that's one of the.
Okay.
It's like that dude. But this is early on. You know the band Mint Condition?
I don't.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me. Kenny Garrett. You know who Kenny Garrett is?
I don't. I
Okay,
didn't grow up
okay.
here. Sorry to say
No, they're not from here. I'm trying to figure out who that.
what my reference point is.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. What's a Chris Dave that you would know? Adele.
Yeah, well, of course.
Bet.
Yeah.
He produced Adele's famous. This is a really famous record. That's like it's like a heavy orchestral drums.
Sure.
But he produced this record.
Wow.
But he's a hip hop jazz drummer.
Okay.
That grew up swinging and then started like on a Dilla tip and then ended up doing this type of thing. Then now he's like Robert Glasper's drummer.
Okay.
That's Robert Glasper's main drummer.
Okay, yeah.
But Chris and John Webb would drive up from Houston 4 hours, like every, it'd be a few times a year, and they would play at these small ass restaurants. That's just like regular gigs, just to come play. But it's that moment where like you're playing with the craziest people ever. I mean, like I would drive 4 hours to go play with Bobby Sparks and Bernard Wright.
Yeah.
I'd drive more. I'd fly more hours to go play with Bernard Wright.
Yeah.
R.I.P. and Bobby Sparks. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
And my parents would bring me to these shows to just chill, because they knew I was serious, and they were, my mom and Mike, my parents, they're friends with Bobby and Keith Anderson, so they'd be like, "Hey, bring little Mike." I was little Mike at that time because I was like 2 feet tall. They would be like, "Bring little Mike, to Brooklyn's, and like come let him chill," and they would always let me sit in.
Oh, wow.
They would always let me sit in. Like, it was always some phase of me getting my ass whooped. Like, learn Sissy Strut right now. Like, when? Now. Go sit down and play in front of all these people, and you're going to learn it right now. And I'm just like, I'm 6. Can you not fuck me up like this? But also, like, at that age, you don't really know what it means to be scared either.
Yeah, sure.
So I was just, like, thrown into this thing in front of all these people that are, like, basically the temperament and the the way that I think about music and the template for how I even see things in general is from them, and how people see things. I mean, Chris Dave is one of the he's a really, really ridiculous drummer that everyone's influenced by. Everyone's influenced by him. Huh. Everyone. Everyone. Chris, stop being mean to me. Shout out. But it is one of those things where it was like, it's more of a cultural standpoint for them to come up to Dallas and like play like this, which is the reason why we even have the sound that we have now. Cause like it was a mix between like, I know you know Sput C, right?
Oh, sure.
Sput and Chris are around the same,
Okay.
era. So like to see like the version of Sput here all the time, and to see like the stranger version of what music is, because Sput is very, very like well thought out, very meticulous, like full thought out process. Chris is one of them dudes that is like, you're watching it happen, and you're like, where are you going? What are you doing? And then once it's finished, it's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it just ends there. It's just like, whoa, that's crazy that you can make that cohesive. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so during that time, them two being around each other at the same time, Sput was playing with Chris. Chris would come up and play with RC and Shawn Martin and Daniel Jones. And to see that at an early age, like my parents knew to take me to that. And then luckily Bobby and Sput and Shawn would always, and RC would always be like, let Lil Mike play. I'm like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
I know how to barely even talk, but I can play the drums. And then like I would play, and I would always play. I was never scared to play. And then like apparently word got around to different people that drummers were talking to, like, yo, there's this kid in Dallas. There's this kid in Dallas. There's this kid in Dallas. And then YouTube happened, and then it just went. Then that's it.
That's it.
After YouTube, it was like okay. And then I started playing, with a bunch of people. Then life happened. Booker T, Chrisette, Stanley, Herbie, whatever, Chick, whatever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Chick. You played Chick Corea?
Yeah.
Okay.
All night, dancing, touching, rubbing, pulling, tucking. Amenities got us freaking. That girl, Papa, she creeping. Sexy, sweaty, peeling. With that smile, you might have to kill me. 'Cause I wanna get in line with you, but so damn appealing. Wish I wouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Shouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Wish I wouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Shouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Part 2, run it back, it's on you. Gotta see if I can get round 2. Felt too good, felt too free, it's on me. So my bad if I speak too freely. Passion, desire, unfolding. All night needing your loving. I'm right where you want me. Wish I wouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Shouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Wish I wouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose. Shouldn't have stepped down, 'cause now I'm too loose.
I mean, yeah, the resume is pretty impressive of who you played with. I'm not going to go through all
I don't
of
know
them.
if don't go through the resume.
I'm not. But, so, well, I'll just ask you about a few. I mean, like Herbie Hancock's like the top of the list. Like that was, how did that come about?
I was working with the Thelonious Monk Institute.
Okay, right.
Right now it's called the Herbie Hancock Institute now.
Oh, interesting.
If you know about the Herbie Hancock Institute, that was previously called the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz. And so they have a program in LA where there's 2 different programs. They have the one that's the college program. After you graduate, they make a band, and they like make that the golden band of the next 10 years of jazz, which is responsible for a lot of our jazz stars today, because a lot of people that are killing went through the Monk program.
Okay.
But there's a lot of other people that went through the Thelonious Monk all-star program, which is for the high school kids. And I did that. You normally get chose for that like once. I did it 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And so like one of the times was with Christian McBride and Terrell Stafford and I'm missing somebody. Oh, he's going to kill me too, because I'm looking dead at his face and I cannot remember this man's name, and he is OG. He's going to whip my ass. Oh, you ain't remember my name, Young Blood? No. I'm sorry. But it was a lot. But like there's other things that, since you're in that program, it puts you in the hat for like all these other events that happen. Mm-hmm. And so there was a thing right as I was getting ready to go out with Stanley, there was a thing that happened called International Jazz Day. And they had it in New Orleans. And this particular day, they chose this like one band that would be on the International Jazz Day. And it was to play with Herbie. And then for some strange reason, they had me play with Herbie in Congo Square in New Orleans. It's like one of the most historic jazz days ever. I mean, it's Herbie Hancock with a bunch of like people in diapers. So it's just kind of crazy.
Wow.
And then he gives us all, we could play Cantaloupe Island, something crazy, And then to be able to kick it with him and him really talking to me about like a conversation he had with Tony Williams, or a conversation he had with Miles Davis, or a conversation he had with John Coltrane.
Wow. And
then like feel that and then play with this man and then like later see him when you're older, like, yo, Herbie. He's like, oh, Dynamite. That's tight, man. I see you doing your thing. I'm like, why do you see me doing my thing? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's but like that happened at an early age. And because I got that information from them at such an early age, it created a mentality for me.
Yeah.
Because they weren't necessarily seeking out to be the most killing or the most famous, anything in general. They just really wanted to put their version of what they hear out. And because it's so special, that's kind of what ends up happening all the time.
Yeah.
Of course it goes to the moon because you believe in something.
Yeah,
It's not fake.
Yeah, and crazy talented to go with.
Yeah. If you practice as much as you believe in yourself, and believe in yourself as much as you practice, it'll happen.
Yeah, I think so.
It'll happen.
I think so. I mean, it's a lot like, you're not at that level. There's a lot of bands that are like, how do we get more people to get into us? And
I'm at that level right now.
Yeah,
I'm still always.
Okay.
I mean, like, just because 1 million people know me, like, there's also like 18 billion other people that are here.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always room to grow.
You're right. Well, that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. And I saw you play with Erykah Badu at her birthday this year. That was pretty cool. Do you do that? That was just kind of a one-time thing. You play with her frequently, or?
Not frequently.
Yeah.
Like, it's been an on and off kind of thing for the past few years. Like, I think the first time I played with Erykah, well, first of all, RC Williams.
Yeah.
He, historically was Erykah's music director for the past 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And also they used to do this jam session at the old Prophet Bar next door.
Right.
And so as I'm growing up, I would go see them all the time. I would always go see Cleon, Braylon, RC, Jabborn, Tehran would be playing percussion. Mark Lacheri would be playing guitar, and Claudia was singing. I don't know, Claudia Melton.
Yeah,
she's the original singer for the Grits for back in the day.
Oh, okay.
I would see that every Wednesday while I was in middle school. I would come from Arlington just to go see this.
Yeah. And
it, as I got a little bit older, like my teens hit, they would start letting me sit in. I was also like a popping YouTube musician, but that's separate from being a gigging musician.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I was doing clinics and like showcases to show that I could play the drums, but that's separate from being able to play in a band.
Yeah.
And so at that point in time, I was like trying to figure out how to play in a band. And so I would go to these jam sessions like every week, whether I would play or just watch. I would watch Tehran, I would watch Sed Moore, I would watch Cleon Edwards, I would watch Marcus Jones, I would watch Dee Henderson, I would watch Tyler Lott. I know you don't know him. I would watch Jamil Byram. I would watch what's this crazy man's name? Lamont Taylor. Like, these people would all go through, but I would see that firsthand. I wouldn't see it like on the internet where like I could decide to like speed up or like go backward and look at something. Like, it was that moment where it's like, I'm learning something, and if you don't catch it in this moment, you're not going to even be able to go back to that moment because you're right here. So like it made me hold on to everything a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And so as I got older, you know, RC would be like, "Lil Mike, come sit in," or Shawn would be like, "Come in and sit in." Spud would be like, "Come on, let Lil Mike sit," you know, like, and I would get my ass whooped so bad, so bad. I have so many vivid memories of like singers turning around like, "Who the hell is this on drums? Get somebody else on drums now,"
God.
because
the
maybe I'm
worst.
just like I'm either like too loud or I'm too soft or I don't know the song,
Yeah.
or you know, it's all these things that are nuances with a jam session because like y'all playing, and if y'all fall into a song, you're supposed to know the song apparently. And me being that, you know, it's a fucking 30-year gap between me and these dudes, like, you know,
Right,
30 year gap between me and these dudes. I don't know Let's Get It On. I'm 13. I'm not getting on nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I'm not,
yeah.
but like over time, you know, over a couple years span of time, you learn formula. Like, okay, we're playing an R&B song. I don't know this song, but this song is clearly from the early 2000s. Most early 2000s songs have this type of formula. So you can formulate what you think would probably happen, even if you don't know the necessary song. So it develops the language.
Right.
And so as that language gets developed, and then like I'm playing more and more with people, and then I'm playing with Shelly Kerr, I'm playing with Jason Davis, and I'm developing this language, and my ears are getting bigger, my attention span is getting wider to everything. It, you know, we develop a chemistry, and then like also I play a specific type of way with whatever type of energy, and with me mixing my energy with how they know that they, you know, how they vibe and rock. It just turned into a communication basis. Then as I got older, now everybody's like, of course, like, yeah, we got this. Mike, come play this. It's going to be weird, but let's play it.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, I can do it, but it's going to be the version that I play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It's not
interesting.
necessarily playing something wrong. It's just, like, developing however you hear music to play it with people in a conducive way, but, like, it's still your thing. You know?
Yeah, I feel like if there's young people listening, that's like one of the more important things you've said. Is
Yeah.
to really, it's like, it's just because you learn how to play your drums at home or your instrument at home, you got to learn how to play with people.
With people, yeah.
Yeah, it's totally
Yeah,
different.
you can't just stare at your cell phone and see how many likes you get on your Instagram.
Right.
You can't do that.
They don't have real like lives.
We didn't have that back in the day.
Yeah, I
either.
think it's clapping as likes now in the audience, right?
No, woo! That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. I was living for that.
Yeah.
Most people live for the double tap on the screen. Back in the day, the real ones would be like, if you was sweet, you heard "Oh," in the back, in the background.
Nice. Well, so okay, so you had an album out last year. You just released something last week. You said, is that just a single or?
So this record label JMI from New York, I recorded a solo drum album last year.
Okay.
And it's just like kind of a homage to all my heroes, to Art Blakey, Jack DeJohnette, Elvin, Tony, you know, Art, Jimmy, like all the OGs, Lenny, Dennis, everybody, you know, like everybody that's important, everybody that's important for the history of
Cool.
the lineage of this type of thing. Idris Muhammad, like all these dudes. And it's a recording that was recorded straight to tape, so it was no like overdubs and no nothing. It's like literally they set up these mics that are like $80 billion microphones that
Yeah.
if I fart, it's going to be in the recording.
Right.
Period. So like
Did you fart on purpose just to get one in the?
I didn't fart on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I didn't fart on
say, I
purpose.
mean, you know. Anyway, sorry.
Unfortunately, I didn't fart on purpose. The
next-
fart was there.
next time.
Next time,
Yeah.
I put it in arrangement.
Yeah.
like that'd be it. That'd be it. But yeah,
high
no,
level.
we recorded that, but that just came out,
Okay.
and it's like a homage to all my heroes on some, like as much electronic music as I do on a regular basis, and R&B, and I sing, and like my actual albums aren't jazz albums. It's
Okay.
like it's experimental, and it's, you know, we're playing, but there's a lot of dance things, and there's a lot of R&B. There's a lot of things that are like away from musician-esque things. This is the one record that I was like, I really just want to make sure I have this footprint in all of that, in all the history of like what I believe in. Because as much as I would love to be Madonna, I'm still a full jazz drummer.
Right.
You know, that'll never go away. As much as I want to like have choreography and a wig, and I want to wear a corset and some booty shorts and some high waisted boots.
I mean, nobody is stopping you.
Yeah, but Art Blakey gonna be like, son.
Yeah, yeah. Well, plus playing drums is probably hard to do in that outfit.
Yeah, it's gonna. No, it ain't.
Oh.
You can wear high waisted boots and still rip.
Okay.
But that was the one record that I was like, you know, if anyone, I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of records where I don't do that, but like people that really are into like the art of the drums, away from me being the artist that I'm trying to be with the music, the instrument side of things, they'll find that album and be like, oh wow, like he really was playing. Like even when I'm old, like I'll probably be like, hopefully I'll be like what's his name, George Michael or Elton John. I would like to be Elton Michael or like George John or something.
George is dead, so
I don't want to be dead,
Yeah.
but like that
level
of like pop star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you go through their history and be like, holy shit, what do you mean that they did a crazy solo drum avant-garde album by themselves? It'll just freak out somebody that's actually a real listener.
Are you saying that you don't see a future where you would be a front person in a show?
I am.
I mean, like without the drums. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, like me being the front of the band without me playing drums?
Yeah, like I mean, is that even possible?
It's possible. It's possible. I wouldn't say anything's impossible.
Not that anybody wants to go. Like they want to hear you play drums. Obviously.
I want to hear me
Yeah,
sing, push
yeah.
shit.
When you're doing a show like this, like coming up, like what's the lineup? Like what does it look like?
Like as far as the band,
Yeah.
normally we would do it'll either be trio, like I'll play drums and then keys, bass, drums, and then like two background singers
Oh, okay.
that just help highlight the lyrics and stuff.
And you're singing lead.
I am the lead singer.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm the lead singer first, and then I'm the drummer third, because I'm the lead singer, and then I have a bass player and a keyboard player. And since I couldn't find a drummer, I'm playing drums.
You mean since you couldn't find a drummer that was as good as you?
Yeah, no,
Or at least to execute your music this way.
no, it's plenty of dudes. But yeah, I sing lead because I write everything, and so I do the lyrics, and then the singers.
I got to see this because I've only seen you like with other like bands. I haven't seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen.
Oh,
your
you're gonna laugh your ass off. You're gonna go, what? Why is he juggling so much? It's like one of the most unnecessary things to see. It's like you're watching somebody be like, why? Have you ever watched somebody like light themselves on fire and just stand there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, not in real, on video, sure.
It's the same feeling. It's like, why are you putting yourself through so much stress? Like I'm playing like, and you hear me be like, bridge. It's like I'm like directing and trying to sing, and I'm trying to rip, and I'm trying to like also not be like jazzy. It's like 5 things happening at the same time, and I'm like always mad about the sound. So like I'm in the middle of my song, like, oh, you turn my bass drum up. So it's like it's a fun circus because it's like it's fully my personality. Because if you hang out with me or away from me playing, it's the exact same. It's the exact same.
Wow.
Like just like a very frantic chihuahua. That's like every time somebody walks around, I just start barking for no reason. I'm like, "Are you cute? Oh, what's wrong?" And I pee on myself. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't think there's a better endorsement to go see a live show than I've ever heard. I mean, that's. Yeah.
If you want to watch me pee on myself and light myself on fire,
I don't even mean that part.
Come to Houston.
I mean, sure, but
Thursday and come to Austin Saturday.
Yeah. Well, sadly, this is probably going to go up after that. But are you going to be doing shows like all summer? Or like,
yeah.
You got stuff. Like, we'll have links. You don't have to tell us everything.
Yeah.
Here.
I'll be touring.
What?
Like my tour doesn't start until fall. I'll be doing spot dates up until the fall, and then I think maybe September. We'll do like
when you have
tour.
the flyers, we'll put it up and everything. You can
yeah.
get all that. So I mean, we've kind of covered a lot of it, but like if maybe one or two like real like the next goal, like what is the next thing you want to achieve with the music?
I have 3 things that are happening. Before this tour happens, I have to put out 3 songs and a video, 3 new songs. So we're going to be working on 3 new songs at Dolphin. I don't know what they're going to be, more electronic driven because, a lot of my music is being played in the clubs a little bit more often than like clubs,
right?
Yeah. discotheque. So probably like 3 of those songs and knock out a video. But after that, like that's when the tour starts. It's kind of for the tour. And then after that, I'm going to be starting on these 2 records. And one is a full electronic record that it'll be, you know, all a bunch of bangers, club bangers, stuff you can, you know, drive down the sunny side of Oak Cliff while it's raining, blasting. And then there's this other record where I'm doing a full acoustic record, where upright bass, acoustic piano, Rhodes, harp, strings, string section, horns. And it's going to be aesthetically similar to like how my albums are in general, but it's just going to be all acoustic. So it'd be like, I mean, the feeling would be there, but the feeling of like you sitting in a symphony hall with like some people. Imagine you're at a symphony hall and the whole orchestra's butt ass naked, you know what I mean? Like, and they're just rocking out. It'd be that, but it'd be full acoustic.
I like,
you know,
that. That sounds exciting.
With a choir and everything.
I mean, if it was a different world, a double album where you have each, but it doesn't financially make sense.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
But those are the 2 things that I'm working on right now.
Okay.
I'm working on this electronic album, this one piece of music that, you know, for that EP, but then this full. It'll be a double LP for this. This orchestral record, yeah. Because I mean, it's so much. I mean, it's horns and strings and harp and all acoustic everything and the choir. Like that's going to take a lot, but it's going to be like just massive sound. You know, a massive sound of like I want people to feel like that they don't have to take drugs to get high. Once you listen to this record, just like holy cow, this is just you know, like the endorphins that get released when you hear something that you didn't realize that palette could go that far. That's what we're working on now. That's what me and Ben are working on now.
Nice. That's in New York, or you do those here? Or?
I'm gonna probably it'll be half and half.
Okay.
Because rhythm section wise, I need my friends from the neighborhood. Right. You know? But like obviously the string, I don't know that many people that do strings here in the city. I don't know a lot of orchestral folks here in Dallas. A lot of those people that are my friends are in New York and LA. So like I'll probably do the core. I mean, ideally we do it together and everybody comes together, you know, for a few days and do it. But worst case scenario, I do one part of the rhythm section that's from here, you know, with my band, but all acoustic instruments, and then I'll go link up with the director of the orchestra and then go direct with him and make that part of it happen.
Cool. And
then hopefully shoot a what is it called when it's not hardcore? Softcore.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, I shoot a softcore video for the orchestra.
Okay, I was not sure we were going with that, and I'm still not sure we're going with that. But okay,
It'd be softcore. It's beautiful.
Okay, I mean everybody likes beauty.
It'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can go to the movie theater and watch rated R movies, you can listen to my album with this softcore video.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be fine.
Sure.
Just gotta call it rated R.
Is there anything else that you want to bring up before we say goodbye? I know one last question. Are you so you're doing your thing? You're focusing on your thing. Are you still playing with other of these groups?
Yeah, I play with Thundercat every once in a while.
Did you do the Thundercat show in Dallas or in?
No, I played with him when we did like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's
tour.
what I was going to say. That. Oh, I have pictures of you from that. Then I'll find them.
Really?
Oh yeah, because I was shooting that for Observer.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
I did the Red Hot Chili Peppers tour, and then he did a Australian New Zealand tour thing. I did that, and then I played with Kamasi Washington on and off, and I played with Carl Denson. I don't know if you know Carl Denson. Tiny Universe. I played with his jazz quintet. He has a jazz quintet that I play with on and off. But I mean, if I'm playing with somebody that's not my band, it's because they're my friend,
right?
And it's because it's a school, also. You know, you're not gonna particularly catch me playing with Mary J. Blige. Like that's not something I'm looking.
I got you, because you're not gonna get anything out of that, really.
No, just more stress and more liquor, but that's it.
Yeah.
But like, if you see me play, I mean, you'll see me playing with Carl, you'll see me playing with Thundercat, you'll see me, playing with, you'll see me playing with Spud. These are people that we're from here, so we have to play together. Yeah. Like if it's a special event and it's not my thing, I'll do it, because like that's a learning curve for me. And so I can be a better leader, because these are all crazy leaders, but CR is a crazy leader.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Sparks is a crazy leader.
Yep.
You know, Kamasi is a crazy leader. Carl's a crazy leader. Like Stanley's a crazy leader. Chick's a crazy leader. So like that type of, if I'm playing with somebody where I'm going to learn something from you, yes, I'm fully there.
Cool.
You know.
Hey, one last question before we go. If someone was like, hey, tell me what's special about Dallas musicians, what would you say?
What's special about Dallas musicians is that we will eat grits and oatmeal all the time to survive.
Okay.
And that's a statement that means that like we'll make anything work. Anything work. Like if you eat grits and oatmeal, it doesn't taste the best in the world, but like it'll fill you up fully.
Right.
So like and when I say that, it's like, you know, drummers here, because it's so killing, maybe we have a weird drum set that makes no sense. But that's only personal to Dallas because we play it a certain way and it's really killing. And anybody else try to play that same drum set, it's going to sound terrible.
Right.
You know, you would see Bernard Wright walk up to a gig with a keyboard in his hands with a speaker on, with the speakers on the keyboard, like plug me in, and he will take a solo on a harpsiphone or whatever these instruments are that are just not even real instruments.
Right.
On this strange keyboard with pitch bend and piano, which is why are we doing? But like it's killing though because it's so specific to like your imagination here. Because like Dallas is a place where like LA, you go to LA to get a gig to get famous because there's so many famous people there.
Sure.
Go to New York to get famous. You know, so many famous people there. You come to Dallas because the sound is crazy because there's so many creative people here. You know, it doesn't necessarily equate to fame.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't necessarily equate to money. So like, you know, you being from Dallas, you probably are one of the most creative, ratchet thinkers ever because you're just hearing things in general. And you're just like, oh, this is what's in front of me, so I can use it to the best of my advantage. And the best of your advantage is your imagination. And if your imagination goes to the moon, then whatever you're playing on is just matter of fact at that point. Like, why are you taking a synth trumpet solo? You know,
right?
But it was killing, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
It's
really, really out the box. That's one thing that I'm really, really, really happy about. You know, and grateful about from being from Dallas, being from Fort Worth, and being raised in Dallas.
Yeah.
On the musical tip, because like everybody has their own personal life. You know, maybe baby mama drama, or like, you know, motherfucker ain't got no car, or like going through a divorce, or like they just got out of jail and they got to go straight to Freeman. You know,
right.
it's like it's a different. It's we in the South. We are not a blue state. This is a full crazy place to be in. You know, like I didn't watch somebody put a pistol on their organ and play at church and murder it. Not the congregation, but the organ.
Right.
You know, and it's really sick because it's only from here. So like the political standpoint of like trying to be correct because this is how you present yourself. Yeah. Because this is what we're supposed to do. That doesn't exist here.
Yeah.
If you extra put together here, you probably don't do that many gigs, like with like the people that really, really play, because like there's a certain grit that comes with you just having a fucked up drum set. There's a certain grit with you being like, oh yeah, my E flat don't work on this keyboard, so I can't hit that one. But like your phrases will go crazy, but since you never hit that one E flat, you do the other thing. And it makes a whole different, you know what I mean? Like I know bass players that literally only play with 2 fingers or 1 finger at a time, but it's like the greasiest bass lines in history. Yeah. You know, like the education of music goes away in this city. Yeah, you either want to play and you figure it out, or you just like have a wonderful instrument, you have a badass drum set, and you don't ever have to go through the struggle of like, oh, this is inconvenient. Let me figure something else out. Yeah. If everything's so perfect all the time, you never have to figure anything out. Yeah. Here, nothing's perfect, so everyone's always trying to figure something out. Wow. And it turns into a sound, which is why we all sound how we sound now. Yeah. That's like a great way to put it. I appreciate that. That was a great way to end it too. Thank you, Mr. Blaque Dynamite, for joining us. We were looking out for you, and it was great. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. It was lit. I'd like to thank my guest, Blaque Dynamite. Look out for him live, and you can see his stuff online. We'll have the links for you. Thank you again to the Deep Ellum Community Center for letting us record there. Theme song, Unstoppable by Salim Nuralla. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, follow, all the good stuff, and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.
You can't have my soul, my mind, my heart, my gift. No love's been lost. I don't owe shit to you. You can't have my soul.
Thank